What's going on? Welcome to the RFL Network. I'm 7 o'clock, your host. Welcome to another Mock Draft Monday. It's a Superflex this time, so hopefully you guys are ready to take two quarterbacks. If you're not familiar with the RFL Network, it is the location for the RFL Fantasy Football League, where there are 24 pages competing to say who's the best in fantasy football in this thing we call redraft. We have pages from all over the United States competing in a relegation style with public standings, holding people accountable, credible, and also just kind of seeing who rises to the top. So there's promotion, demotion, and relegation back to the wait list. So hopefully you guys are well. Come join me on YouTube, you guys. Appreciate you rocking. If you guys have a moment, join me on YouTube. But without further ado, I want to bring out a follower who has been rocking with me for about a year now. He is thinking about getting into content. I said, you know what, man, if you need little pointers, come out. He's not ready to show his face right now, but he is on camera in the building. I got Louis Knows Ball. How are you, man?
Hello, my name is Louis Noseball. I've been rocking your page for a long time, and to be a guest on your podcast, it's an honor. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Um,
How long you been playing ball or fantasy football?
I've been playing fantasy competitively for 3 years. My boy Niner Empire got me into it. He
Okay.
invited me in like 2022 to join his league.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing quite well the first 2 years, but last year I made it to the finals and
Okay.
lost to him sadly.
Oh, hey,
So
be
he
like
had
that.
bragging rights on me. I also made it to the finals in a Yahoo League that I was in with another friend, and I
Okay.
lost to him too. So I'm not a champion, but I have second place trophies. Hopefully this
Okay.
year is the year that I do win one.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to always join the mocks, but also join me. I'm gonna take you and I off screen, and I'm gonna go ahead and start this mock draft. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
remove you real quick, Louis, and you still should be able to. Matter of fact, we'll just block out our cams.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's add the mock. Stop the cam. There we go. All right. Good luck, everyone. We got a super flex draft starting. Jeff Dunn is on the board. Hey, going live on YouTube. Pull up, say what's up, come join me. Peace. Let's see who he's got. Can you hear me at all, Louis?
Yeah, I can.
Perfect. Let's see. Let's do a drop down. Still got Bijan at 1 in a super flex. And look, everybody's in here. Everybody's hungry, dude. Wow, I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. I don't know if you can see in the lobby, Louis, but everyone is here on time, ready to mock, ready to put in the reps.
Yeah,
This
that's
is how
awesome that everyone was able to
you win
join
your
us.
league, man. So who went two? Is that Chase?
Jamar Chase went too.
Okay. Uh-oh, there it is. So your two back-to-back second place finishes, were they in a super flex or were they in a traditional regular league?
One was in a traditional league, and the other one was a Yahoo Standard League.
Gotcha. You make me feel like an old timer. You said 3 years.
Yeah.
I've been playing fantasy. Might be year 16 for me. I'm a
Oh,
teenager.
really? You've been playing for 16 years?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope, I hope to win a couple of championships.
What'd you say?
I'm hoping to win a couple of championships this year.
I mean,
That's the
aren't
one
we
thing I'm
all?
missing.
We got one. It says, had to go Chase here. Thanks for having me. And man, as long as I have the ability, it usually is going to be on Mondays. I had free tickets to an A's game, so I had to do what I had to do. I hadn't been to a baseball game in 10 years, so I had to take advantage of it. But Mondays, 7 o'clock, let's build a community, man. Pull up, have fun. If if you're comfortable being on camera and you're appropriate, you're more than welcome to hop on the show. I want to grow with the followers and truly be just the analyst of the people. So let's build this out. I appreciate you rocking with me. All right,
That's
I'm gonna take a look at the board. Oh, jeez. Let's see, can we? All right. Okay, we had Burrow go, we had Gibbs, Lamb, Jefferson, Hurts at the 1.7. B man. I'm curious. I mean, I guess Allen Jackson and Daniels were gone, so you did what you had to do. Never mind. Barkley at the 1.6 still crazy to me. What do you think about him being on that Madden cover, Louis?
I think that's a curse, don't you? Most of the people
Yeah,
that are on the cover, don't they have a bad year the following year?
most times. Rarely do they not have a bad year. What does that mean for someone like a Hurts?
I think Hurts,
Hypothetically,
I think Hurts has a bounce back year. Last
yeah.
year wasn't good, but I think this year in fantasy he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks.
I mean, if Barkley goes down, he's going to have an opportunity to repeat. I think he had 14 touchdowns last year.
And then he also had a lot of rushing touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that hit the like button, hit the share button, comment. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Who is that? Mm-mm. Was that Otto?
That's B man.
Yeah. What do you think about Puka?
Puka scares me this year because you don't know um, can he stay healthy, and then you bring in Devontae Adams, who I think is an excellent wide receiver. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that takes away from Puka's production.
I'm with you. I'm in the same boat, and I think he's talented. I just think he's being overdrafted, or I don't agree with his ADP. I think he's probably
In the second to third round.
yeah. That's where I feel like he should be. He had an amazing rookie year. I think finishing as wide receiver 4. But that was largely due to Cooper Kupp missing the time that he missed, you know. So now with Devontae Adams, who had eight touchdowns and over 1,000 yards, he didn't play 2 games. He had Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and Aaron Rodgers. It still was able to eke out 1,000 yards. What is he going to do with Matthew Stafford in that Sean McVay offense? I feel like I'd rather take Adams a couple rounds later
I
than
think
Puka.
Adams is gonna. I mean, I think Matthew Stafford is going to love him because Matthew Stafford loves that deep threat, and that's what Devontae Adams brings.
Yeah. Let's see. So we got Knicks and Murray off the board. Your boy Niner Empire's on deck. He's got Allen and McCaffrey.
Oh, he loves his McCaffrey. Oh,
Mm.
he drafted a Raider.
It's all Northern California love.
Do you think they're overhyping Brock Bowers?
Mm. No, I mean he did it last year. You got to respect it to a certain extent. I just don't agree with that any tight end should be taken where he's suggested. So it's not a knock on him. It's more a knock on. I don't believe in taking a tight end in the early second round.
I think he should be third.
That's fair. That's kind of where McBride is going in that 24 to 28 range. But he's a dog nonetheless. You can't knock on.
Oh yeah, I agree. He's the best tight end right now in the league. Him and McBride are kind of rotate the 1 and the 2, but I think those are the top 2 dogs right now.
Uh, Let's see. Do we got anything going on? Hey, I apologize, guys. I know you guys are here for Superflex mock draft, and I don't have Superflex rankings up. Honestly, think it makes it better, but I apologize for not having it on Superflex rankings. I knew I needed a quarterback, so I took Baker, and then I took the best running back available. So, what do you like better? Do you like them equally? Are you a Superflex guy? Are you leaning towards the standard single quarterback?
I like the Superflex. One of my boys invited me last year, and I kind of like it better than the regular standard.
Mm,
Well, it also helped that I had Bijan and Derrick Henry on my team, but I also traded for Jaden McDaniels late in that league.
okay.
What about you? Do you like the standard or do you like the two QB
I like standard personally.
standard?
Uh, that was a great pick. I got sniped by Alvarez. That was a great pick. Let's see. Felt like that would have put me in a nice spot if I had gotten Taylor right there, Taylor and Goff. But I'll take Chase Brown. Flojo just dropped a nice little piece on Chase Brown. How do you feel about him?
I love him. I drafted him in the league I did earlier. He's my RB3.
Okay. Overall, he finished strong. That's a hot take right there. Chase Brown RB3. Talk to me
Yeah,
about it.
I What am I on the clock? No, I like him personally. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity to run the ball in the end zone because there's no clear second back in there. Does that
It
make
is
sense?
an exciting offense to be in.
Plus, they're going to take a lot of the attention away from him, like because you have T Higgins and then you have Jamar Chase in that offense, so it's going to work out for Chase Brown. Chase Brown.
Feel you. Is there a team that's sticking out to you so far that that's kind of winning you over?
Hmm. Personally, I like the Vikings. I think McCarthy. I think he's gonna show why the Vikings went up and grabbed him.
Mm, I'm a big fan of his as well. I feel like you shouldn't leave your draft without taking him at least in the 15th round.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a sneaky pick for whoever drafts him.
I don't know if you saw that piece I dropped on Kyler.
Oh yeah, I did. That kind of influenced me to draft him this year in one of my two QB leagues.
Yeah,
So I got him. I picked him up
I,
because I
I,
do. Go
I
ahead.
would say I got one for JJ McCarthy. I've been working on as well. So it's funny that you say you Vikings JJ McCarthy without knowing I had already been working on something.
No, I love his game. I think this year's gonna be the year that people are gonna be like, "Oh, no wonder the Vikings drafted him." Because if the Vikings did that with Sam Darnold, imagine what they're going to do with this kid who has much more talent than Sam Darnold.
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%.
Who is a sneaky running back?
Sneaky running back. Um, I don't think Brian Robinson is getting enough love right now. They just got the best offensive lineman Houston had to offer, and Houston had the worst offensive line last year. So they get Laramie Tunsil. Uh, Eckler's another year older, and he's more of a rest kind of third down back. Jaden Daniels is coming into his second year in the league and in that system. They just got Debo. Overall, I think Washington is going to be really, really good. I think their offense is going to be comparable to the Buccaneers,
You're
and
not
and he's the primary running back on that on that team.
you're not afraid that takes red zone attempts away from him, the Debo Samuel trade?
No, I mean, how long until Debo gets hurt? If we're being honest,
I see him on that. I was looking at Lad McCarthy, and I think he has a big year this year. I think he's going to be a 1,500 yard wide receiver.
He could be. He's always kind of banged up, and like that, what for whatever reason, Chargers just in general never stay healthy.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Justin Herbert to take the leap this year.
Mm. I mean, I don't think they're designed for him to really excel in that light. I think they're going to grind the ball. They went Joe Alt over Neighbors. They signed Najee, and then they drafted Hampton. They're going to run the ball. That's going to be their identity. He's a quarterback I'd want in real life, but not in fantasy. I think when it comes to the playoffs, they're going to really run the ball and keep the ball out of his hands, so he can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's the one thing with him that he turns the ball over a lot in the playoffs. He's a
Mm-hmm.
good regular season QB, but we haven't really seen what he can do in the postseason.
Yep. See, we're about a little over halfway done. See what we got going. What we got going. So there's Hampton there in the 5th round in a super flex.
I'm a
Smith.
big. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm a big fan of what B Man and Jay Maluka is doing.
Okay.
Their teams are
Okay.
looking good.
Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I like Team Alvarez's team, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, that's another one that's sneaky good.
That's a pretty good team, yeah. I know I just said what I said about Herbert, but all right, so I need another running back and I need a receiver. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take one now since he got breaded. Any tight ends I like? We'll go James Conner as our RB2. I'm not mad at that. Not like the happiest about DK as my wide receiver one,
Oh
but
no.
I do like having what I feel is maybe 2 top 8 quarterbacks in Baker and I did not need to take Connor. I already had Henry.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that.
Oh well, because I could have taken 2 receivers right there and then got my flex. We'll see. Yeah, I could have gone DK Sutton. So Connor's my flex. I like that.
Yeah, Connor, I like his game. It's just he doesn't stay healthy.
For me, he doesn't stay healthy when I draft him. When I don't draft him, he does well. I don't know if he just haunts me as a Steeler fan.
Oh yeah, because he did play with you guys.
Mm-hmm. He went to Pitt. It's kind of a hometown pick.
Oh, he also went to Pitt. Like Kenny Pickett.
I think he got drafted ways before him.
No. But I'm saying they got drafted from the same school.
Yes. Yeah, Connor went to Pittsburgh. Okay, let me scroll over so we can see what the rest of the lineup is looking like. Irish boy, I see you. I see you. I don't know what you're going to do. Man, he's taking advantage of the rankings.
I like his team. Jaden McDaniels. I
Mm-hmm.
think we say he's going to be a steal.
Mm-hmm.
T. Higgins, I think he has a big year this year.
Yeah. He can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the big question with the.
He's a poor man's Puka Nakua.
Yes, he is.
Can't stay out of that blue tent. But like the talent is there. It's just T. Higgins. He'll goose egg you every blue moon, and then he'll come up on the injury report, play, and then leave the first quarter.
and then leave that zero in your lineup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I thought I had learned my lesson, and I saw him sign some autographs and go back inside because he saw the line of people waiting to get an autograph. And I'm like, man, he's got a good heart. I'm gonna draft him. And he had burnt me the previous year, burnt me again, dude. And I'm like,
Really?
never again, never again. I wish him the best of luck, except when he plays Pittsburgh, but never again. He's one of I don't trust him. Who's a
I
player? Who's a player for you that you just don't trust?
Let's see. CMC, even though I'm a
Mm,
Raider fan, I cannot touch him.
yeah. What
He's
were you about
injured.
to say?
Did you hear I said CMC. CMC
I
is the
heard
guy.
you say that.
Um, he's a guy I will not touch in any of my leagues.
Yeah. I feel like if the price is right, I might gamble. But then you got to get Garindo. Like there's
Yeah,
no drafting CMC and without reaching for Garindo. If Garindo is ranked in you got to look before you take CMC. You got to find Garindo, do the calculation. Oh, he's ranked in the 10th round. You got to take him in the ninth. He's ranked
yeah.
in the ninth round. You have to get him in the eighth.
You
Don't
have
let
to
someone go
you have
ahead.
to have a handcuff for
You
sure.
have to handcuff him. I mean, I survived off Jordan Mason, off his production multiple weeks last season, especially when I lost Chris Godwin.
Oh, you also lost Chris Godwin last year too?
I called that production, and it was good while it lasted. I think 7 weeks into the season.
I was telling my cousin to that they shouldn't have had him in the game. I don't know why they still had him. They were down by like 20, I think, when the injury happened.
Yeah,
They should have pulled him.
kind of like Derrick Rose.
Yeah, Derrick Rose is a guy who I think never really reached his potential because of the injuries.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember Brandon Roy too.
Oh, I heard a lot of stories about Brandon Roy. They said he was a good shooting guard, but his knees just wouldn't help him out.
Yeah. All right, Team Alvarez. Let's see what you gonna do, bro. Cause you about to get blocked on IG. I'm sick of this. And I forget you guys can see who I'm like. He took good pick. Mm,
Are you big on Swift this year?
I am. I'm a believer.
You stole my pick.
I had to. I had to. What's crazy is this is where they would normally go in a traditional draft. So there's some players that are falling.
No, Alvarez went Hunter.
I might have gone a different quarterback than Herbert, but I really like Team Alvarez's team personally.
Oh yeah, it's looking solid. He has some rookies, and then he has Joe Burrow, who's going to put up stats this year.
Mm-hmm. He's got two dog running backs. He's got Joe Burrow and Herbert. He's still got Moore and Sutton. Then he's got Swift and Hunter.
I have question marks about Hunter
Yeah,
because B Brian Thomas Jr. is still there. So are they
yeah.
going to limit his touches, or how's that going to work?
Brian Thomas, he didn't even catch 90 receptions last year. You figure with the loss of Evan Ingram and the loss of Christian Kirk, that should be enough for Hunter and Johnson to both eat. I'm more concerned about Trevor Lawrence than Hunter's targets or BTJ's targets personally. Can he finally take that step forward? Not even live up to the hype, but just be like accountable, credible. Can he be Jared Goff? Because right now I don't believe he's been Jared Goff.
I was telling one of the people in the league, I'm scared to draft him because he never lives up to the name or the pick that he was drafted. I think he's more of a system quarterback, but you have to get the right coach to bring out his potential.
Gosh, I didn't even realize my guy was in here. Oh, I didn't even see it until it was too late. No, I appreciate everyone taking the time to rock on this mock draft, man. You guys are awesome. I should have reached out to him. Is there a pick that you didn't really care for that you see? Be nice. Be nice.
The Aaron Jones, I feel like I don't think he's gonna live up to the hype this year.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that last pick, and then possibly Tua. I think Tua can't stay healthy enough.
Your boy Niner took him. I like what Chef Dunn is cooking. That's a solid squad.
Well, yeah, it is a solid squad. If Patrick Mahomes can finally bounce back, I think that is a solid squad.
Mm-hmm. Cammy Bean. Let's see what you got. That's not a bad squad either. Juwan Jennings is a real sneaky pick, man.
I think he finally takes over that wide receiver one role in the 49ers.
Mhm. That could be 1,300 yards just waiting for him, dude. Like him and Kittle. If Kittle always starts the season slow but finishes hot, he can stay upright. That could be like a nice 1-2 punch. Ayuk will be there. What? Maybe midseason. Probably doesn't start on the pup.
I think he's after the third game. What do you think of Bryce Young? Do you think he finally has a good season, or do you think he finally puts it together?
Uh, I'm I'm not so. So first off, I want to say I'm hoping he does. I hope he does. I hope he lives up to it and is the guy that people, the lives up to the number one overall draft spot hype. I don't see it, and I don't think they've done enough to really help him succeed. I don't know that I don't really I'm not targeting Tet. I don't think I would him in because I like to use I like to use um, Draft Wizard by Fantasy Pros,
Yeah.
and you can just easily sit there and knock out tons and tons of mock drafts. He's not someone I don't think I've ever mocked,
Really?
not even one time in the app.
Is that because of the organization around him, or is it because you don't think he has the talent to be a good fantasy quarterback?
Um, I don't know if you know Bogart Scott of Gen
No.
Wealth, but he's of the same mindset of me as to where he's like a less athletic but more technical DK Metcalf, and I
Yeah.
don't think Bryce Young is that of a Geno Smith, and I don't think the old coordinator and the head coach or that of a Pete Carroll. I just don't see it. Um, we'll see how he does against press. I'm rooting for him. I think he'll be okay. Maybe he'll have closer to Marvin Harrison numbers last year, maybe less touchdowns.
Yeah.
But Bryce Young, he showed flashes. Can he consistently do it? I don't know. I don't know. That's a big what if.
I think that's what he's missing. Uh, can he finally put it together? And I don't think that the organization is helping him.
Mm.
Who's the number one wide receiver in Oakland and Vegas's offense?
I'm still going to say Myers, at least to start the season. I mean, if you count pass catcher as a whole, you
It's
really could say Brock Bowers. For the longest time, Kelsey was the number one wide receiver in Kansas City.
yeah, production wise.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I think Brock Bowers is a stud. I just don't know with a new head coach, new quarterback. I can't remember a quarterback thriving in a Pete Carroll offense. Genty, he's probably going to be safe because every running back has eaten under Pete Carroll. But what significant tight end finish was there that you can remember from a Pete Carroll led offense? And I struggle.
There
I
wasn't
struggle.
one.
When I think about pass catchers in Seattle in the past, I think Doug Baldwin, I think Golden Tate, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I don't know tight ends really come to mind. Um, they had a tight end by the name of Wilson. I know Jimmy Graham was there, had a short stint there, but he was past his prime. I'm yeah, I'm not really
A fan of him?
yeah, not necessarily a fan, but I question what Pete Carroll's going to do for Brock Bowers that wasn't done for him last year. What changes are they going to be for the good, or is it going to break even, or is it not? Is he not going to return value on his ADP?
Now, do you think Gino has a good year? Because I don't. That's a
Mm,
quarterback that I'm staying away from.
I mean, so I primarily play redraft, so I'm not really doing research on Gino. I think he can finish as like the quarterback 15. So for super flex purposes, sure I'd take a stab at him. I guess in that mindset in super flex, you want the top 24 quarterbacks. Do think he's a top 24. I think in that QB tournament, he was the lowest ranked, which would have made him 23.
I was surprised you put him in.
Flojo actually shout out to my guy Flojo. He actually put him. He did the original rankings that first time. Working with those three has been fun and challenging because just time schedules and one person is doing this aspect, one person does this. He did the original rankings for that QB tournament. That's how that shook out. I worked with him through IG Messenger, and then once we had that done, um, Chef Dunna did the graphics. Well, he's been doing the graphics, and then I do the tournament part and do the uploading. And yeah, he had Geno Smith as QB 23.
QB 23.
Uh huh.
Well, that's not bad.
No, I mean super flex. You got to play two quarterbacks. If it's a 12-team league, that means 24 quarterbacks. So Geno
Well,
is technically a starter, right?
if you need a spot start.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think about Rice? Does he get suspended or?
No, I think the reports and rumors are that he's not going to be suspended. All right, I got one person. Oh, and never mind. I'm not even going to show it because Alvarez might be out there watching.
Stream sniping.
Man, Team Alvarez, dude. I'm going to have a word with you, bro. You've been watching my content a little too close. All right. I'm going to go with the pink powder boy himself, Stephon Diggs. Appreciate you guys rocking with us for this mock draft. Louis, in about 15, 20 minutes, let's do maybe 2 to 3 minutes per team. You want to break down the teams or you got to run? What's your time schedule?
No, that's fine. That's fine. We can rank the teams.
Okay. Well, let's go. I think we had 3 analysts. We have 4 analysts. So we have 8 teams to grade. Let's take a look at. Well, first, let's acknowledge our analysts. Thank you, Chef Dunna, for pulling up. Thank you, High Society. Appreciate you showing up, man. And then we got First and Goal again, brother. Check out First and Goal. He's got a lot of great rankings out. If you're not familiar, definitely follow him. and then myself. So we'll exclude those four teams, and let's get into this one. What do you think so far?
I'm liking the. Let's see. I like the Rice pick.
Uh
I like
huh.
Kyler Murray. I like that pick. I think he's gonna have a great year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sold on the Montgomery.
Okay. Kind of
I like.
early for
Yeah, I think that's way too early for him.
fair.
Dak, I'm not sold because he's coming back from an injury. I think you could have waited on him one more round or two.
Okay.
So I don't like that pick. Joan, he comes back with Joan Jennings, which I like personally. I think he
Mm-hmm.
is going to have a monster year, so that's great value for him.
Yeah. Njoku, Downs, and Loveland. I'm not bad. I think that's a solid baseline team. And then we can compare the next one and see which one we like better. You want to
Yeah,
do that?
yeah.
All right. Am I not showing the full? My bad. He didn't start with
Oh,
we didn't do him right. We didn't do him justice. He had Jamar Chase and Bucky Irvin. That's actually a really good team.
well, I like Bucky Irving and Jamar Chase. I think they're gonna have monster years, so I'd give it a solid B plus.
Okay. So he's rolling out Kyler and Dak, Chase, Rice, and Jennings. And then his running backs are Irving and Hubbard. And who's his tight end? Njoku?
Yeah, and then Loveland, which I think
Plus?
he's gonna have a good year.
Yeah. Okay. So we go Allen and Tua. Those are our QBs. We go McCaffrey and Mixon. I think that was a matchup not too long ago.
Yeah,
McCaffrey and Mixon. Then we go Harrison, Scary Terry, and Waddle. And then you got Brock Bowers as a tight end. Which team do you like better?
I like Niner Empire, and I'm not even trying to be biased because I do think that Josh Allen is good. Um, McCaffrey, I think he's gonna have a good year.
Mm-hmm.
You have Brock Bowers, who's also gonna have a good year.
Okay.
Mixon, he's a good solid RB2.
Okay.
Waddle, I think he finally takes over as a wide receiver one in Miami because I'm hearing rumors that he's going to get traded. Tyreek is going to get traded, so I
Okay.
think this is the year he finally breaks off. Um, I'm not too fond of the Tua pick because of the injuries.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, Shakiri, I think he might still be wide receiver one in Buffalo, but I'm also hearing that Coleman is injury prone. But I do like that pick. That's value right there at the ninth round.
Great value.
Um,
He still gets a
what?
starting running back in the 10th round.
Yeah, and then Gringo, which is CMC's handcuff. So
Yeah. I think that's a solid team. That's a solid team. I kind of
yeah,
lean with the first one just a little bit more, but we still got so many teams to look at. So I won't get too caught up on either one of these. This is an analyst, so we appreciate him rocking with us. Shout out High Society. Make sure he's not in the lobby or anything. Cool. Then let's go ahead and look at Irish Boy, last week's follower team of the night. So he goes Daniels, Lawrence as QBs. Okay. We got a stack with Lawrence with Brian Thomas, AJ Brown, and T. Higgins as a flex. Kittle as a tight end, and his running backs are Harvey and Robinson. On the bench, he's got Myers, Mooney, and Jordan Mason. It's a solid squad. Irish Boy
well,
knows what he's doing.
I like it personally.
Yeah.
I think that's a solid squad. I'd give it probably an A minus. I just don't like
Ooh.
the Atlanta pick, the Mooney. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, at the 10th round, that's kind of he's a good bye week fill-in.
Yeah, I like it personally.
Yeah. It's a pretty solid squad. Honestly, there hasn't been like a really, really bad squad yet. Murph Dog 98, man. Hopefully you're well, man. This is one person who DM'd me personally and was like, "Hey, man, can I get in that mock?" I said, "Hey, when I create it Monday night, I'm gonna send it to you first, and then I'm gonna post it in my story on Monday morning. So shout out to Murph Dog for just wanting to get in the reps and just following and being a part of the 7 o'clock community, the RFL network community. Make sure you guys like, share, comment. We appreciate it. And subscribe. We got so we got quarterbacks Stafford, AR-15, and Darnold on the bottom. Ooh, okay. So that means he went Barkley Jacobs as his running backs. We're gonna go Puka Jason, Mike Evans, Olave on the bench. We got Hawkinson and we have Aaron Jones on the bench. I like the squad, but it's probably like my
I'd rank it 3.
yeah, it's probably in that 3-4 range in my opinion.
Now, the only thing that kills it is the quarterbacks. I do not rely on any of the quarterbacks that he drafted.
If he had
Stafford,
maybe yeah, go ahead. No, talk your talk.
Stafford could probably have a good year, but you're asking a lot for age factor wise.
Mm,
Richardson is unknown, so I think I don't like him. And then Sam Darnold, you don't know what he's going to do in Seattle.
I feel you. I feel it. I would probably even roll with Stafford and Darnold and cut out a Rich. But with already having 2 starting running backs and maybe 2, 3 starting receivers, I might have taken a quarterback right there with Olave. And would have replaced him with a Jordan Love or a Fields, because then you're rolling out Fields or Love in Stafford. I feel a lot better about that.
Yeah.
Again, not a bad team. Not a bad team. I obviously don't play Superflex, so it could be a great team. But I feel like you said, it's probably in that 3-4 range. Okay, so starters, we got Hurts and Fields. Running backs, we have Hall, Hampton, and Henderson. We have Collins, Wilson, and Ridley. You would probably I don't know who you would roll out. Maybe you roll out Henderson over Ridley as your flex. We have Kelsey as the tight end, Cam Ward as a backup, and then you got Brandon Ayuk. Great value on Brandon Ayuk. What do
I
you think about
honestly,
Big team?
I honestly like the wide receivers.
Yep.
I think those are good. The only question mark is Brees Hall, because Brees Hall, is he going to produce, or are they going to be a 3-man split?
Yeah.
But overall, this squad is solid. I'd give it a B plus.
My bad. Without further ado, I'm gonna come on screen with you. Let me turn my cam on. What's going on with you, brother?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm here today, so I appreciate you having me on as always, man.
You know, I've been running nonstop, and I didn't realize that you were in this mock, because I would have invited you sooner, but it looked like you were doing stuff with the family, and it just worked out the way it was intended.
Worked out great, bro. Worked out great. I hit up some Chipotle, got home, and we were pounding. You were like, "Yo, hop on." I was like, "Yes."
You ain't have to throw that Chipotle in our face. You didn't
Yeah, I
have
had to, bro.
to
It
do
was
it.
bomb.
You're making me hungry.
Luis, I don't know if you follow High Society, but he's one of the doper content creators in this fantasy football game. He's gonna be competing in the RFL tournament. So yeah, definitely give him a follow if you don't already do so. And High Society, this is Louis. He's a follower who's thinking about branching out, so I gave him the opportunity just to kind of get his feet wet.
I love it. Hey, good to meet you, bro. Good to meet you. I've been listening for a little bit. You're definitely doing your thing on here. So,
Thank you. I like the jersey, by the way.
hey, Darren McFadden, baby, Run DMC.
Yeah, that was my favorite running back in the day.
That's my guy, man. Don't let his legs fool you. They may be thin, but he's going to get past you. He might even give you a stiff arm too.
Right. Then you got Avery. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. The community is what drives this thing. So we appreciate you. We got so much in store for you guys. I can't talk about it, but let's get back into it. You want to give us your thoughts on? We can't do your team, unfortunately, Louis. I heard the
Yeah, he was wanting to.
I'm sorry. You want to? Let's hook him up.
Yeah, I got him, man. Let's give him the rundown. I mean, you can't hate Jefferson. That's like the definition of value, where you got him.
Yeah.
And nobody could ever complain about that. That's for damn sure. You're going to lock him up at 8. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Come back around, you get one of the most explosive running backs in the league with Achane. I like Kyron. I might not be the biggest Kyron guy. I'm kind of a Jarquez Hunter guy, and I think that they may have a little bit more of a stable this year. But obviously, he's been a workhorse, and until we see otherwise, he's as solid at RB2 as you're going to ever find. I like that you went with Purdy and Love there. I think those are good value, considering you waited till round 4 to get your first quarterback. I think you got two I won't call them absolute fantasy studs, but two guys that you plug in every week and you can pretty much expect 20 points. Maybe not the highest upside, but their floor is safe and they're going to get you through, especially with all the other guys. You got Smith, you got Godwin. I mean, these guys are super solid. You're kind of swinging for the fences on Warren a little bit. But I do like him so long as either Richardson gets right or, Danny Dimes comes in and targets him like he probably should. They should just pepper that man. But yeah, your receivers, you went with Kupp, Golden, and Pittman at the end. That's good value there. Those guys, Cooper Kupp, obviously, we know where he's been. We know what he's done. So to completely write him off would be a disservice. Be disrespecting an all-time great, in these last 5 years, 10 years, he's been as good as anybody. Matthew Golden, high upside pick. We don't know. It's kind of a jumbled room in Green Bay. He could come out and lead them in targets, or he could come out and maybe just be a big play threat. I don't see him being an alpha, but he certainly could have a nice role. You got a really nice team, really well balanced. I really like your first 5 or 6 rounds were really good. I think Godwin, obviously we know what Godwin brings, but like that wide receiver room kind of scares me a little bit, just because they have so many mouths to feed, and I know Baker can feed them. But, it remains to be seen how healthy Godwin is going to be. He's one of the only question marks I have, but you got him in a good spot. I like your team. I would say definitely playoff contending team. I would definitely say, competing for the playoffs for sure.
Thank you.
There you go, man. There you go. Don't say the high society and 7 don't hook you up, brother.
Yeah, we'll get that breakdown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. This is a longtime follower, one dude that's a friend of the community. Shout out to Mugeta, who went. Let's see who his quarterbacks are. So he went Drake May and Bryce Young. Okay, we've got Walker, Judkins, and KJ as his running backs. Receivers, Lamb, Neighbors, and Hill, and then he has McBride. What do you guys thinking? What you got, Louis?
I like the first 2 picks. The wide receiver, we really stacked up the wide receiver thing. Mm-hmm. I also like how we went McBride. The only thing that scares me is his quarterbacks, May and Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What do you got? What do you think, High Society?
I mean, obviously he was sort of punting quarterback in a super flex. So, I think the guys that he got are plenty good where he got them. If I'm being honest with you, I think when you come out and you just absolutely hammer on CeeDee Lamb and Malik Neighbors and Trey McBride with your first 3 picks, it almost doesn't even really matter what else you do. No, but those guys are studs. When you think Lamb, Neighbors, McBride, Tyreek is a bit of a wild card. If he returns to form, and you're looking at, Tyreek from a couple of years ago with Neighbors and CD, you're talking about just an elite lineup of receivers. His running backs, he's really swinging for the fences. I personally, I've probably made this clear as much as I can. I love Judkins as a player, and I think he's going to be a bell cow. I think he's going to get as much work as he can handle. All the buzz out of camp is, wow, this guy can move. He's a big man. He's 6 feet, 221, but he's as agile as you're going to find for that size. He had the number 1 RAS score in the draft. He's the most athletic. Like this guy, in a Stefanski offense, in a Nick Chubb role. I'm big on him, but I'm bullish on him, and I know rookies are in redrafts, not always the safest. But I personally like the Judkins pick. I'm not big on Ken Walker though. Ken Walker is a walking injury, is what he normally is. That's the only problem. If you get Walker, you should probably get a cuff because he is just bound to miss time. He's been notoriously missing time. But we know what you get when he's playing. He's one of the better running backs in the league. The dude is just a home run threat. Like anytime he gets it, he can house it. You know that. But I feel like he could have used maybe one safe, nice floor running back, because you're talking about Caleb Johnson who, I mean, could come out and absolutely dominate. We know his numbers at Iowa were insane. We know, we know that he's a stud and he can handle a workload. But they just brought back Jalen Warren, on that 1-year deal, and he's not going to be completely out. So I love Caleb Johnson, especially long term. I think he's a great fit for Arthur Smith. And it's a dream situation for him. But how does that workload look? And when you're talking about only having Walker and Judkins, I'd like a guy that I know I can get 10, 11 points from in a given week. And I don't really see that he's got that. But I like May, Young, and Penix. To wait that long and, I mean, get 3 guys with a really nice upside. You talk about the way Bryce Young finished the year. He was on tear. His confidence was at an all-time high, and people forget he was the first overall pick, over Stroud a couple of years back. And obviously he's had struggles. Obviously it hasn't gone perfect, but you see a lot of promise. And then when I talk about, like, when I watch Michael Penix play ball, I don't know if you guys watch his tape as much as I do, but some of those throws that he can make,
the ball flattens out.
I don't know that I've seen a lefty that can chuck it with that kind of velocity, like, in my life. I haven't seen it. This dude is. I think we're going to be really shocked at what Michael Penix comes out and does.
Oh,
I got a really good feeling about Penix's future. Him and London. I mean, I think I got London in this draft. I'm targeting London everywhere. If you watched, the numbers that London was putting up with Penix, especially the last week and whatever, he was just. It was a beautiful sight, and if Penix grows and in that offense, they can be really good. So I think Penix is a really, really nice quarterback sleeper. Where you got him, you're talking about, what was that, round 10? Hey, round 10, you're taking a guy that could come on and a really, really nice offense and lead a team to the playoffs and throw quite a few touchdowns. So I like that pick. Good upside pick. Same with Drake May. He's got great rushing upside, so his floor is actually pretty solid, even though he'll throw some picks and make some mistakes and do young guy things. But I like Drake May. I think those are about as good of, a swing for the fences quarterbacks as you can ask for at the end of a draft. I really like their upside. And those receivers are going to bring you home most weeks. So if those quarterbacks can throw anything together, that team should beat up on quite a few teams. If that team stays healthy, I like their chances to contend.
Nice. I like that.
He says that he was going to take Bryce Hall instead of Tyreek.
Yeah. Okay. So it was an auto draft, is what he was saying. I got the other comment. He got auto picked Tyreek, so he wanted Breece Hall right there.
Gotcha. Well, obviously that changes things. Maybe he wouldn't have gone K9 or whatever. Could have been a different scenario altogether. But where it stands right now, I mean, Tyreek is Tyreek. You see him in camp right now. Yeah, he's kind of losing it a little bit. He's made some comments that you're like, I'm not happy to hear that, about McDaniel and all kind of stuff. But when he's right, and when let's think about it like this. There's a scenario where that offense comes out and catches fire like they had a couple of years ago, and Tua's happy, and McDaniel's cranking again, and everybody's giving them love, and that offense is, just blowing by everybody like they did. I think a lot of those problems sort of disappear for at least a little while. So, talking about pairing that with a guy who came out like Neighbors and, catches 100 balls. You're talking about CD, who's a target hog, about as safer receiver as you can find in a PPR situation. So, yeah, I love that team. Trey McBride, I don't think he gets enough love. I think it's, Bowers and then McBride. I really don't see anybody else that are going to be, nipping at their heels, especially if McBride has, that touchdown, a boost in some touchdowns. I mean, you want to think, and he had 2 touchdowns last year, and he was still like top 2 tight end. So
yeah,
if he gets a couple touchdowns, we're going to be like, wow, him and Bowers are like closer than we thought. So I really like McBride. I like that team. Good team. A little bit questionable running backs, and you waited for running back and quarterback, but that's how your strategy was, and you offset it with elite tight ends and elite receivers. So I think you did good damage control, and I think you got a contending team. If at least 2 of those quarterbacks get going, you got a nice chance.
Nice. Okay, Louis, this is the last team. Team Alvarez. This is the guy who was sniping me a lot. We go Burrow, Herbert.
I like his.
We've got Genty Taylor, Moore, Sutton, and then you're going to probably go Swift, but maybe go Hunter or Reed as your flex. He got Scat and Ferguson as his tight end. What do you think, Louis? We got about 5 minutes to wrap it up. What you got for us?
I like his two quarterback combinations. I think Burrow comes out strong. And I'm also high on Justin Herbert. I think he is going to have a good regular season, which is good for fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. I'm not really liking his running backs. I think he could have did better. I don't think Genty is good. I like Taylor. Taylor's a good running back for fantasy. I think he's going to finally have one of those vintage Jonathan Taylor years. So I like that. DJ Moore, I'm not too sure on. I
Okay.
think Chicago, their offense is going to be more spread out, especially because they drafted Loveland. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not too big on that pick. Um, Sutton, I don't like either. I think, like again, that offense is not going to be as good as people think it is. I think it's going to be more Bo Nix, Harvey, I think. So I'm not too fond of that pick. Swift, I think he has a good year, so I like that pick.
Okay.
Travis Hunter, I think he comes out and he balls. Well, not balls, but I think he's gonna be a good rookie this year. So I like that pick. Jaden Reed, I don't like personally because there's a big question mark in Green Bay. Who's gonna be the number one wide receiver?
Mm.
Um, Cam Scudaboo, I don't like because he's not the definitive number one.
Yep.
So I think I don't like that pick. Um, and then Ferguson, we don't know what he's gonna do in Dallas or that offense because they also have CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. So
Yeah.
you don't know how that offense is gonna roll.
Fair enough. High society. I hate to crunch you to 3 minutes, but what you got for the folks?
On that team,
Yeah.
I mean, look, when you start with Burrow at the 11th pick in a super flex, I mean, you've got to be flexing, right? I mean, you're feeling really good if you got Burrow in the 11th pick after you got, Hurts going 7, and I mean, that's great value to take Burrow there. It's crazy. I know, he mentioned he wasn't huge on Genty. I think he's just, I get it. Everybody's skeptical about the rookies. He's a generational prospect. He's not playing with Arthur Smith. I mean, he's playing in a Pete Carroll offense, and he features one guy, and that Genty is he's a 3-down horse, and he doesn't come off the field. He's confident. You can watch him, like everything he says. He's already said, "Hey, man, 200, 1,500 yards, 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns." He believes in himself. Pete Carroll believes in him. That offense is going to run through him. They're going to run a ton of play action. They're going to get Geno going. They're going to get Genty going. I think that they're going to do nice things. And I really like the Taylor pick. I think that's a great value at, where he got him. Taylor is a workhorse. You look at how he finished off the last year. I mean, he sort of had some reminiscent of how he was a couple of years back and made
That RB1 season.
Made you just believe in him again. I really like him. I liked him at Wisconsin. I've liked him the whole way. I like the Herbert pick. To me, if it were me, I would have plugged in probably Caleb Williams over him. You know what you're getting with Herbert. He's super safe. He's gonna most of the time get you, that 15 to 21-ish points or whatever. But at the end of the day, what Jim Harbaugh wants to do out there. He's gonna come out there and roll out Hampton and Harris, and he's gonna get those big boys, and he is just going to attack you on the ground. So while I do like Herbert and I do like Ladd, I don't know if they have the absolute highest upside. But if that's what you're going for, you got two super safe floor QBs. At receiver, Moore is a stud. He's just solid. He's not the sexiest pick, but he goes out and you look at his stats at the end of every year. You're like, you know what? He's an absolute stud. And where you get him right there, great pick at the end of the 5th. I'm not a big Sutton guy, like Lewis was saying. I like the value of Swift. Hunter at that point in time is a swing and miss. Same with Reed. You don't know what's going on in Green Bay. Personally, I like Reed over Golden, but there's no alpha, so it's just going to be like whose week is it, randomly. Scatabo, to me, was a fine value where they got him at 10, even if he's not, getting, even 60%, 55% of the touches. I mean, he's still going to be, he's going to be that goal line back. He's going to be the grinder. He's going to be having weeks where he's getting you 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. And that's probably all you can expect with the, in the 10th round. Followed up with Ferguson. I mean, again, not the sexiest name ever. And you go back and you look at the tape and you look at the stats, and Dak just loves this guy. And so he's a nice pick for the last round. I like that team. I think it's a very nice team. I think that they win a lot of games, especially when you factor in you got Burrow, Genty, and Taylor in the first 3 rounds. I like that a
lot. Which one are you guys taking with? Or are we going to take it off the air? And then I'll just make the announcement. I'll do the graphic later. What do you guys want to do?
You let me know, man. You call that one, and I'm down for either scenario.
All right. Well, make sure you guys have your top 2 favorite, and then text me. I'll message you guys offline.
Yeah.
And then maybe tomorrow we'll have the announcement of team of the night. Appreciate you guys working with the RFL network, man. I'm 7 o'clock. I had a special guest follower, Louis Knows Ball. Appreciate you rocking with us. And man, as always, High Society is always love, man. Anytime you have some time, you always pull up. Next Monday, 7 p.m., we're going to do a standard draft. It won't be a super flex. Hopefully have some more content creators for a part of the RFL that can join us and grade some of these followers' teams next year. You guys take care.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you always.
Always, man. Peace.
Have a good night.